Hey there, demons and ghouls, welcome to the channel. Today we're cracking open the chest of spooky stories and pulling out some terrifying tales of Ouija board misadventures. We're talking about those boards that some say can open a portal to the other side. Is it spirits communicating or just your friend pushing the planchette around? Buckle up, grab your salt circles and maybe a stiff drink because we're diving into the top 10 Ouija board sessions that went horribly wrong. Kicking off our list, we have a legend in Ouija board lore, the Zozo demon. This isn't just some run-of-the-mill spirit. Zozo is known for wreaking havoc on unsuspecting users. People have reported encounters for centuries, claiming it's a demonic force. Zozo doesn't call just to chat about the weather. Hold on to your sombreros, folks, because our next tale takes us south of the border to Mexico. In 2014, a seemingly normal family gathering in the state of Jalisco took a terrifying turn, thanks to a little game gone wrong. We're talking, of course, about the Ouija board. A group of teenagers, probably bored out of their minds after their tia's endless stories about her prize-winning cacti, decided to spice things up with a little Ouija board action. Bad idea, kids. It wasn't long before things started to go south. We're talking strange noises, the planchette flying off the board, and the teenagers experiencing dizziness, nausea, and hallucinations. Fasten your seatbelts, because we're cranking up the creep factor with our next story. This one takes us back to 1972 and revolves around Doris, a single mother in California. She claimed to be terrorized by multiple entities. Doris's story is the stuff of nightmares, including a shadowy figure resembling her abusive ex-husband. She believed they communicated through a Ouija board. The sessions unleashed a torrent of paranormal activity. Chapter 4. The 2001 Estefania Gutierrez Lazaro case. Our next tale takes us to sunny Spain, where a young woman's fascination with the Ouija board ended in tragedy. Estefania Gutierrez Lazaro was a teenager who, like many of us in our younger years, was intrigued by the unknown. She and her friends decided to dabble in a little Ouija board fun, hoping to connect with something beyond the veil. They got what they wished for, but it wasn't the friendly chat they were expecting. Shortly after using the Ouija board, Estefania began to experience terrifying hallucinations, hearing voices, and seeing shadowy figures. Chapter 5. The 2015 Peruvian school incident. From a haunted house to a haunted high school, our next stop takes us to Peru, where, in 2015, an entire school was gripped by fear and chaos. It all started with a group of students who decided to try their luck with a Ouija board. Big mistake, kids. Word spread like wildfire, and soon, dozens of students were experiencing similar symptoms. The school was forced to shut down, and medical professionals were brought in to try and make sense of the madness. Chapter 6. The 1991 Vista Hospital incident. Our next stop takes us to a place where the veil between life and death feels particularly thin: a hospital. Vista Hospital in Los Angeles was already infamous for its haunted history. But things took a turn for the worse in 1991, thanks to, you guessed it, a Ouija board. A group of nurses, probably bored out of their minds during a slow night shift, decided to break out the Ouija board for a little spooky entertainment. Bad idea, ladies. They say hospitals are full of restless spirits, and it seems they were right. After the Ouija board session, the hospital was plagued by a wave of paranormal activity. Chapter 7. The 2013 Gary, Indiana case. Hold on to your hats, folks, because our next story is a real doozy. In 2013, a family in Gary, Indiana claimed to be the victims of demonic possession after using a Ouija board. And when I say possessed, I don't mean your run-of-the-mill speaking in tongues kind of possession. This was the real deal, folks. The family claimed their home became a battleground for demonic forces. Objects flew across the room, furniture overturned, and the children exhibited bizarre and disturbing behavior. Chapter 8. The 2012 Oklahoma teenagers incident. Teenagers and Ouija boards, it's a recipe for disaster. Our next story takes us to Oklahoma, where a group of teenagers learned that lesson the hard way. In 2012, These teenagers decided to tempt fate by contacting the spirit world through a Ouija board. They got their wish, but it wasn't the friendly ghost they were hoping for. Shortly after using the Ouija board, the teenagers began experiencing strange and terrifying phenomena. They heard voices whispering their names, felt cold spots in their homes, and saw shadowy figures lurking in the corners of their eyes. Chapter 9. The 2008 Texas Family Incident. Our penultimate tale of Ouija board terror takes us to the Lone Star State, where a family's attempt to contact a deceased loved one went horribly wrong. In 2008, this Texas family, grieving the loss of their grandfather, decided to use a Ouija board to communicate with him from beyond the grave. They believed it would bring them closure, a chance to say goodbye. Instead, it opened a door to a nightmare. At first, things seemed harmless enough. The planchette moved slowly, spelling out messages that brought comfort to the grieving family. But as the session continued, the tone of the messages changed. Chapter 10. The 2016 UK Teenagers Incident. And now, for our final tale of Ouija board horror, we travel across the pond to the UK, where a group of teenagers' fascination with the paranormal took a sinister turn. In 2016, these teenagers, eager for a thrill, decided to hold a Ouija board session in an abandoned church. It was the perfect setting for a horror movie, and unfortunately for them, their lives were about to become one. As the teenagers sat in the darkness, their fingers resting on the planchette, they felt a chill run down their spines. The air grew heavy and the temperature plummeted. The planchette began to move, slowly at first, then with increasing speed. That's it for our top 10 Ouija board horrors. So there you have it, folks. 10 terrifying tales of Ouija board sessions gone wrong. Remember, the Ouija board is not a toy. It's a tool that should be treated with respect and caution. Some things are better left unknown. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Let us know your creepy Ouija board experiences in the comments below.